Many of you have asked, and so I delivered. This video will be on the many missing episodes I originally did not have when watching Jon and Kate Plus 8. I now have 19 of those 24 episodes, and we'll be covering 5 of them today. Hi, I'm Danny, and you can normally find me on this channel diving into TLC shows, Christian fundamentalism, and exposing family vloggers. If that sounds like something you're into, I'm excited to have you around. If you haven't watched all of my videos on seasons 1 through 5, feel free to go watch those first. Everything is included in the playlist. And as always, this might be a crazy life, but it's their life.
It might be a crazy life,
but it's our life.
First, we go back in time to before the show started. On May 14th, 2006, there was a 1-hour special dedicated to learning about the Goslin family. It was titled Surviving Sextuplets and Twins. I apologize for the quality, as I can only find clips of this on TikTok.
Jon is gone from around 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. For those 12 hours, Kate's on her own.
I didn't realize Jon was gone that long for work. Considering it's only 12 hours, he can't be working a 12-hour shift. So does that mean his commute was really long? But Kate also admits she refuses to get up any earlier than 8.
I come upstairs, I empty the dishwasher, I prepare breakfast.
I'll cut her some slack because this is her first time on TV, but Kate sounds so different here than the lounging on the interview chair Kate we've seen in Jon and Kate Plus 8. By 10 a.m., she has all the kids fed, dressed, and playing in the basement.
I hang out down there for a little while to play with them in the morning because I feel like I don't see them the rest of the day because I'm busy doing stuff.
The phrasing of this confused me at first, but she's referring to how they take a 4-hour nap between noon and 4 p.m., and that's when she gets all of the cooking, cleaning, chores, and whatnot done. But then we see Kate has been pretty consistent with the overreactions over the years.
Oh, my lordy-be! Oh, my child! My daughter needs a bath.
Although blowouts are definitely not fun to deal with, I'm shocked Kate says this is her first time having it happen. I'm not a mother and have experienced this at least twice with other kids. You just get them out of those clothes and into the tub. Poor Alexis having her poopy back shown to all of the world. What an invasion of privacy. Speaking of privacy concerns, today's video is sponsored by Oprah. Did you know recently over 2.9 billion records were stolen from national public data? This company provides personal information such as your full name, address, date of birth, phone number, and social security number for background checks. And if that didn't sound bad already, members of the hacker group have reportedly released this information for free online. This is obviously terrifying and upsetting. It can feel incredibly vulnerable to know your personal information isn't as safe as you want it to be. But I don't have to worry because I use Oprah. Oprah monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points, like the dark web and public court records, to detect and alert you to potential identity theft. They give you up to $5 million in identity theft insurance should the worst case scenario happen. They also provide a bunch of other features to keep you safe online, all inside one app. You can go to my link, aura.com/DannyGreen, to try 14 days for free. 2 weeks is plenty of time to find out if any of your personal data is exposed. So go ahead and click the link in my bio as soon as possible, because not only is national public data not going to do anything to help you, but they're also probably not going to face any repercussions either. I'm not leaving myself or my husband vulnerable to data breaches. And if you don't want to either, you can go to aura.com/DannyGreen. Moving on, Kate talks about when she works.
I'm scheduled every other Saturday, a double shift, which is 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. As a nurse at an outpatient dialysis clinic.
Hearing that she's a stay-at-home mom to 8 and also works a 16-hour shift every other weekend really shows why Kate was so happy to do the show. She also mentions picking up other shifts due to financial need. Also, it seems Jon is working well over 40 hours a week, which is also obviously exhausting. They've mentioned it many times before, but they didn't have the money for this many kids, and this show saved them from the overly exhaustive work / life struggle they were having. Although it's common for new parents, Jon and Kate rarely saw one another during the kids' early years. And on one of those Saturdays, we see Kate has left Maddie a note.
Help Daddy today and obey. He will be very busy. Love, Mommy.
While it's nearly impossible for Jon and Kate to not ask Maddie and Kara for their help with the babies because of the workload, it's wild to see just how little the twins were when the weight was put on their shoulders. But even at this stage, before the show, Jon and Kate were already getting outside help in different ways, like at Sam's Club.
I do assist them with their shopping. We usually need 2 to 3 carts to get their shopping accomplished.
And we see that their relationship here isn't any different than what we end up seeing on the show. Here's Jon talking about Kate going back to her natural hair color.
Would you have still married me?
Of course.
That's the right answer. What's the true answer?
The true answer is I only like blondes.
Damn, that would crush me if my husband said something like this. But he continues to talk about Kate's physical appearance.
There goes her body, because she was firm, fit, and ready to go after the twins.
Yeah, Jon, I think you just need to shut up. I then learned that at this time, there were only 12 sets of sextuplets in all of the United States. So fame came easy to this family. In this clip, they're heading to be on Martha Stewart's show, and Aunt Jody and Uncle Kevin are there to help.
And they took 2 babies in their limo, so it went as smooth as could be.
And the episode concludes on Martha.
Martha held her hand, but everybody else just kind of sat in their strollers and looked around.
1 year later, there was another special titled Sextuplets and Twins 1 year later. I cannot find this anywhere, so unfortunately we move on. When it comes to season 2, I am missing the episodes Hit the Road, where they go to Disney World, and Cutting Room Floor, where they share never-before-seen clips of the family. I have no idea where to find these. But now we pick up in season 3 in an episode titled Behind the Scenes of Jon and Kate Plus 8. They begin with talking about how the show is not scripted. Obviously, the days were roughly planned, and they had an idea of what each episode would be about. Jon's statement here is exactly my issue with this show.
There's no boundaries. We are not hiding anything.
Well, you should be. You should be teaching your children how to set boundaries and respect their wants and needs. This is exactly why they're seeing so many issues with paparazzi and tabloids in season 5. They didn't ask for those things, but they also didn't establish any boundaries to protect the family from it. Then we also learned there hasn't been an off season for this family when it comes to recording.
We've never stopped since we started in August of 2005.
So this camera crew is quite literally in these kids' faces all the time. How exhausting. Thankfully, the core crew has a good relationship with the kids.
Scott was away for a while doing his thing. Where's Scott, Mommy? Where's Scott?
We're caught.
We're caught.
2 monkeys. 3 monkeys. And I want to honor this beautiful once-in-a-lifetime moment.
I'm tired of talking.
Then we see a cute moment where the crew let Maddie and Kara pretend to be the interviewers, and they drafted a bunch of questions and feedback for their parents.
Don't yell next time.
I agree.
Do you have a hard life? When you feed them, do you feel like feeding little ducklings? How do you feel about having 8 kids?
And now we move into another episode of season 3, Viewer FAQ. So in case you didn't know, Kate used intrauterine insemination, or IUI, when she got pregnant with the sextuplets. It's a fertility treatment that involves placing sperm directly into the uterus to increase the chances of fertilization. They explained that they often get asked this question.
Why are they asking us? We're considered a fertility nightmare.
I really love this next question. The viewer asked how Jon and Kate get one-on-one time with kids, and if each kid has a bond with both of them separately.
I spend as much time with them as possible, separately.
We all have our own little things, and they all have their own little individualities.
Yeah, I know everything about each one of them.
I wish they had answered this more honestly and acknowledged that it's next to impossible for 2 people to give 8 young children the love and attention they want and deserve every single day. It's why I don't plan to have more than 2 kids personally. But then we learn all of the boys' middle names are after men in the Goslin family.
Aiden Jonathan, of course, being named after me. Colin Thomas, named after my father. and Joel Kevin, named after Kate's brother.
I think that's incredibly sweet. Then Kate gets weird when asked a question about how she feels about her kids looking Korean.
Well, no, actually, I was hoping that they would look like Jon, picturing the little China doll babies. The more Asian they can look, the better. And I actually wish I was Korean, and we all know that.
What a weird statement. Then we also learned Jon and Kate had 2 cats prior to having kids and gave them away.
We had Calvin and Polo. We always say we traded our 2 cats for 2 kids.
So the reputation of being good pet owners is quite horrible. Then we move on to the next question.
No, I am not answering that.
People want to know.
Oh, be quiet. That is just something we are not answering.
It was just a question asking when they find time for intimacy. I think there's 2 answers. 1, they don't. Or 2, like most parents, when the kids are sleeping. And Kate ends the episode with this comment.
They don't need to see perfect. Nobody's perfect. So we're not going to paint or ever try to paint a picture that we are perfect. Right?
Right.
This next missing episode of season 3 is titled Family Movie Nights. At the time, their tradition was to have a movie night nearly every Friday, but the morning starts with Jon and Kate getting the twins ready for 2nd grade. Jon knocks Kate for sleeping in.
And then it moved to 7:15, then it moved to 7:20.
Never later than 7:20. But
The bus comes at 7:30.
Sounds like Jon was mainly on his own if Kate was only around for 10 minutes in the morning. Then we learned that everyone's bikes were a gift from Ellen when they went on her show.
So we're very, very thankful.
You can get my bike.
And hours after the twins left for school, Kate realized Kara had left her lunchbox on the bench in the garage.
Holy cow, who left their lunchbox? Kara. Oh. Jon?
Jon was already planning to run some errands, so he grabbed it and dropped it off at their school. A very normal accident for kids to make. At least they didn't react like Ruby.
Unless you find a friend who's willing to share some of their food with you, I don't think you're going to be able to eat. But if you're not responsible for your lunch and your lunch money, that's the natural consequence. And I'm really sorry you're learning this the hard way.
But similar to Ruby, Kate sometimes made herself seem like a loving and caring mom to Colin.
I know who to ask when it's time to clean up all the yard toys and the bikes and things. Colin is my famous helper.
But then Jon returns home, and despite her constant remarks about his body, she also makes this face when talking about him going to the gym.
Kids are napping, I'm going to nap, and Jon's going to the gym.
What does she want from this man?
I'm running from Kate.
Jon then talks about how he has lost a good amount of fat and works out every day. He says he feels better and has more energy throughout the day.
You're going to lose this?
Yeah, Kate.
That is your goal.
No.
How did she keep going after he was clearly not happy with that comment? I can't even imagine if he tried talking to her like that. But while Jon's at the gym, some of the crew members just installed blinds on their living room window to help with the lighting issues the crew had been facing during editing.
I don't like it. I don't like how the blind comes over the edge of the... Jon's not going to like it either.
Hours later, they've fixed it, and Jon is home from the gym.
Nice hair, honey. Really nice hair. Okay, now that looks good.
Yeah, I like it.
And now it's movie night.
I pop popcorn. I put a surprise in it.
And Kate works hard to really bond with the family.
I purposefully try to sleep during the movie. Any movie that turns on is like my lullaby music. As soon as the movie comes on, I'm out.
The movie of choice was Planet Earth, and these kids got into it far more than my siblings ever did. We thought they were so boring.
Look, watch. Woo!
But the laughs subsided when a tiger ate a monkey.
Oh, Jon!
Tiger's gotta eat too.
And then it was time for bed.
Boys to boys room, girls to girls, go.
And for the final missing episode that I now have of season 3, here is Oprah, Here We Come.
Where you going tomorrow?
I'm going to see Oprah.
Now, unlike most interviews in New York City, which is only a few hours drive away from their house, Oprah's show was filmed in Chicago. This means they have to be more strategic with packing as they will be getting on a plane.
We were going to be gone just a little over 24 hours, and we had 5 suitcases.
But when reflecting on driving to Disney World, Kate thinks this will be easy.
If we did that, we could do anything.
I feel like we won a race. They did awesome.
But at this point, they already did their ski trip to Utah, so they've already done a flight as a family. Yeah, that flight. Then Kate starts packing a suitcase dedicated specifically to the kids' comfort items.
Colin's duck, Leah's baby doll, one of the girls' blankets.
I find it interesting that she cares to make sure everyone has their item, considering at the end of this season, so about the same time as this episode, Kate is threatening to throw away Colin's comfort item because of a little bit of gum. But then I see a moment that unfortunately reminds me too much of my husband and me.
So when I go up, I'm not going to find them.
No.
Let me go up and get them.
I swear, sometimes people can be staring right at something and not see it. I don't understand. But they're about ready to leave.
She sent these shirts with the kids' birth order numbers on the back, and on the front it said, "Oprah, here we come."
We also see that Kara had an iPod Shuffle.
I go to Rock.
That reminded me that I also had one, but it was orange, and I won it at the DARE pool party. Yes, DARE, as in the drug abuse resistance education people that probably taught me more about drugs than I ever needed to know. But now it's the morning of, and Jody and Beth are joining them for the trip. And Jody loves Oprah, clearly.
I got my nails done. Got my hair done.
Sadly, this line from Jon didn't age well.
I don't think there's anything that we can't do together, so we just do it. Who cares?
But we never actually see Oprah on this episode, which surprised me. To wrap up season 3, I am still missing the episode titled How We Got Here. In this episode, Jon and Kate tell the story of how they met and share some of the details of their wedding and their lives before the sextuplets were born. I can understand why that's been wiped off the face of the earth. And that's where I'll stop today. Please join me next week for my missing episodes of season 4 of Jon and Kate Plus 8. I hope you have an amazing week. Bye!